Intro music.
Come on in.
A star for the ages for Tony Gwynn, number 3,000.
They have acquired Eric Johnson and Fernando Tatis Jr. from the White Sox in exchange for James Shield.
Welcome to Slam Diego.
My name is James,
My name is Joey.
and this is the Brothers Padre.
James, oh James, another week of Padres baseballs in the books. Last week before the All-Star break. As our loyal listeners, you've been with us this season. It's been an awesome season so far. And yeah, before we get into it, remember we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, we're on Twitter at Brothers Padre. Give us a follow.
Hit the notification bell. Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. And if you want to comment on one of our videos, and if it's family friendly, we'll read it on the air.
We have a great filter here. We make sure that everything's family friendly, but unfamily friendly comments we'll laugh, but we won't read them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
James, shall we recap this past week?
The week of July 2nd? Yes, let's do that.
James, the Fighting Phils welcomes into town for a 3-game set. And as I don't know if people are familiar with current United States weather, it's rainy at every place in the West Coast. I don't think there's
East
a place.
Coast.
I say West Coast?
Yeah, we live on the West Coast.
The not best coast.
Not the second coast. The one that we settled in and went, this place sucks. Let's go out west, good sir. Go out west, young man. It's nicer weather and there's gold, apparently.
Yep. The Philadelphia Phillies beat us 4-3 off the back of an incredible start by Zach Wheeler. Paddock also had a quality start, 7 innings pitched on 3 runs, but the final score was 4-3. The Philadelphia Phillies had 5 hits and no errors, and we had 6 hits and 1 error, James. Anything fun happened in this game, James?
So, Zach Wheeler, if he was on a better team, I believe would probably be in the top 3 contention for the Cy Young. He wouldn't be the top contender because that's DeGrom, but he's definitely one of the top 3 starters. He was a buzzsaw. We didn't score off him the entire game. He threw 8 shutout innings, and it was 3-3. And then, for those who don't know, the Phillies bullpen is atrocious. Does not sound like the correct term. Like it's not
Right.
It's like apocalyptically atrocious.
Yeah.
And they gave up 3 runs, tie game. They blew a save, and then they later came back and win it in the 10th.
Yep.
The Phillies did. So, yeah, Tatis Jr. had a double RBI in the 9th. Then Jarek Saprofar had a double RBI. It was entertaining. It was also a very long game because the game was delayed. Every one of these games, except for the last one of the series, was delayed. Every one of the games in the previous series in Cincinnati was delayed. One game was called at the 5th inning because of rain. I don't...
Build some roofs, people.
Build a roof. I said it do you not sell tarps over there?
Yeah.
Like it's not hard. Put a tarp up. Anyway, so that was the end of that game. It was disappointing to say the least. It was also the first time Austin Adams gave up a home run in the bottom of the 10th to the
He gave him a double.
No, it was a home run. Was it?
It said a double in the block score. I didn't watch the game, but it said I think it looked like a home run because there was a double off the wall in the center field. Yeah, the double. So it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
He still hasn't given up a home run in that situation.
Oh, okay. Well, then that was game 1.
Yep.
Lots of rain.
Padres come back. Padres, a theme this week is the Padres really don't give up.
They don't give up, and
because it's 3 runs in the 9th.
Exactly.
Alvarado maybe should be sent into the sun. He's a horrible pitcher. Every time I see him in any NL East game, I'm like, why is he pitching? He was incredible as a Tampa Bay Ray, but he comes to Phillies and he just dude does not have it.
Yeah, that you could say that about all the Phillies, though.
Yep.
It might just be something, I don't know. Maybe they were all on sticky stuff.
They were all on the sticky stuff.
Like they're all jonesing
Can't
for
quit
sticky
you,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, they're, gotta have my sticky. Gotta have my sticky.
James, we go into the second game, Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. The land in which the founding fathers signed some documents and their teams, their team name is Phillies. So it's like saying the Philadelphia Philadelphians, really.
It's a stupid name.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
But, it was also Los Angeles Angels, which is the Angels.
Yeah,
so
but they weren't really... They weren't... That's true. Not a lot of creative people back in the day, obviously.
But the land in which the country was founded and their team beat the San Diego Padres 4-2 on 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and the Padres had 2 runs and 4 hits on no errors. It was... I saw the very beginning of this game, and I was like, oh, this is a good start. I was on vacation this weekend. James was watching the games, holding down the fort. But I saw the first inning, I was like, oh, this is going to be a great game.
Yeah, Machado lit off with a 2-run home run.
And then nothing else happened.
Well, no, what happened was there was a 45-minute rain delay in the fourth.
Right.
Remember, the game started an hour late because of rain. Then there was a 45-minute rain delay. And several times during the game, it started raining. It just... We're a San Diego team.
Yeah.
We like sunshine.
Yep.
And yeah, it was frustrating. It was just a frustrating to watch this happen because it was a closer game. But it was that 45-minute break in the fourth literally, I think, killed everyone's momentum.
Darvish came out after that delay.
Yes.
He didn't go out. He pitched again, which I think it always throws off pitchers' momentum to wait that long. And yeah, I thought your note was funny here. This road trip, the Padres had experienced 6 rain delays. In the history of Petco Park, there's only been 8 delays in total. 2 of them were from bees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So eight total delays in the history of Petco Park.
Yeah.
And I was at the B game.
Yeah.
I was at one of the B games. They said, and they didn't even tell us what was going on. Like, what's going on? And there was
It was behind home plate.
It was behind home plate.
Yeah.
It was a whole swarm of bees.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this giant thing zoomed in, and some broadcast. I guess it was the PI guy, but it didn't sound like the PA guy. It was somebody just like, we should tell everybody what's going on. Like, the game has been delayed due to bees. And it was, I totally forgot about it because I believe we got our. We did not win that game, if memory serves correctly. It was, one of the games we lost due to bees.
I'll see if I can find it real fast.
And it was just an interesting stat.
Yeah.
Only 6 games because of rain. The Petco Park has been around for 21 years.
28-minute bee delay. Wow. That's gnarly. There's like a Petco Park delay bees, and you get to see this lovely image of bees. Just like
that's what they showed on the jumbotron on the boom mic.
So it's just crazy amount of bees. We lost 9-3 that game, so we don't like delays. We got things to do.
Yeah, we want to win quickly and efficiently. Move things along.
Should we talk about the Hosmer thing? That's kind of was my impression of the game afterwards. Was like most people were mad about Hosmer.
Yeah, he goofed. Every once in a while, Eric Hosmer just forgets how to be a first baseman. And it's not ground balls. It's not line drives. It's simple pop-ups. He'll overrun them or he'll just lose them.
Yep.
This popped up, and I get it. It was twilight. It was rainy. The sky was kind of messed up. But it dropped a foot from him. It was so frustrating. It was going to be the third out of that inning, and it led to 2 runs in the 6th inning. And that was the difference in the game. Was Eric Hosmer forgot how to field. It was just a tad on the frustrating side.
Yep. Not what we predicted. We thought that we would handle the Phillies. We did not. Pretty frustrating, but I think the frustration came into play on Sunday, July 4th game, when the San Diego Padres decided, hey, we don't care about the founding fathers because we're the real fathers here.
We are. The fathers came in to show the founding fathers. Yeah. Well, if you think the missionaries were here before the founding fathers were.
True.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
original fathers.
We were the original fathers. That is true. Booyah, history.
Sunday, July 4th, 2021, the San Diego Padres went to town and said, nay, we'll win on 11 runs on 15 hits and 1 error, to the Phillies' 1 run on 5 hits on no errors. Riding on the back of a short Blake Snell start. Nonetheless, no earned runs. Padres used 6 pitchers this game, but keep the Phillies at 1 run. Vince Velasquez gives up 5 runs in 6 innings pitched on 9 hits. And then we come back in the 9th just because we just hate the Phillies, apparently. Just scored 6 extra runs in the 9th. In the very rainy rain. It was
It was pouring down rain when we were doing this. Manny Machado started the game off with a 2-run homer again, and then he hit another home run later. This I will say about Blake Snell's pitching performance. We have now discovered he has been nursing some sort of illness, and he missed a start. He's going to miss today's start as well against Colorado.
It's highly speculated he's going to miss today's start, yeah.
Because of this illness.
Undisclosed.
His pitching performance, and we've talked about this ad nauseum about how bad the umpires are. This was the worst umpire game I've ever seen. Snell pitch count was huge, and it wasn't because he wasn't throwing strikes. There was, Jesse Agler made this call. Snell walked McCutchen, and Agler said, "Wow, he walked McCutchen on 6 straight strikes."
Not good.
It was, and they showed it. And you look at that little stat they show of umpires. The guy was like 78% efficient. It was terrible, and I thought Joe Girardi at some point was going to be kicked out because he was yelling at the home plate umpire. And the Padres couldn't really complain that much. We were winning, but we were getting just as many bad calls as they were. It just happens that I think we were lucky because they kept on hitting balls on the ground. So I don't think Snell had that many strikeouts.
Let me see how he had. He had 3 strikeouts in 4 innings.
Yeah, that's not Snell-like.
4 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 hits. Pretty rough.
And those walks, it felt like every one of them was the 4th pitch was a strike.
Yeah,
it was one of the worst umpire games ever. Yeah, I switched over to the Phillies broadcast when Joe Girardi was yelling at the umpire as well, and they were even like, "This is probably one of the worst umpire games all year long." I should have written down the guy's name, but I didn't because I don't like to know umpires' names. I shouldn't know umpires' names. To me,
I think most of our loyal listeners will be very surprised you don't like umpires.
You
didn't invent a stat around it, right?
No, we're not going so far to be vindictive or anything to make sure this kind of stuff never happens again. But that's neither here nor there. We won. It was really good. Webby Rivas in the 9th inning hit a 3-run homer.
Good. I mean, you love to see it.
Love to see that kid do well.
Yep.
And then the 4th game happened.
James, game number 4. We somehow pissed off the MLB scheduler because they're like, hey, you're in Philadelphia. Guess what? You have to fly home to San Diego and play a night game. What's going on here, buddy? We have no days off in between this, and the Giants have a day off every week. Whatever. I'm not mad about it. The San Diego Padres welcomed the Washington Nationals into town. And the Washington Nationals beat us 7-5 on 7 runs, 12 hits on 1 error, and we had 5 runs and 7 hits on 1 error as well. This series, I think the Phillies series felt like we just got unlucky. We weren't performing the best we could. This felt like, this Washington Nationals offense feeds off our pitching. This whole series is that the Washington Nationals hitters are just feasting. They're just feasted off our pitchers. Joe Musgrove didn't have it really for the first 2 innings, which is going to be a theme every single game for every single starter. First 2 innings, give up 5 runs the first 2 innings. It's kind of a rough game because we already had a tax bullpen from Philadelphia. We needed someone to pitch a lot, and Joe Musgrove has done that admirably in the past. He gave us 5 innings, or 5 earned runs, and then John Lester was on the mound, and so for the Nationals, so there was always a chance we'd come back, and we did in the fourth inning. We get 5 runs back, RBI double by Ha-Seong Kim. And in the third, Jake Cronenworth a double to bring Myers in, and Tatis Jr. gets a solo shot in Game 4. And it looked like we were heading back, but just went cold after that, and the Nationals get 2 in the 7th and the 8th. Ultimately, those are the game changers, James. It felt like a very winnable game.
It did. It did indeed.
Especially considering the bullpen of the Nationals isn't especially great. By the numbers, but they held the Nationals bullpen performed way better this series versus us than they normally have performed against other teams. So I think it just at this point where this is like the 3rd loss in this set in 4 games, it just felt rough. It just felt very rough.
It did feel rough. It was just, again, you can tell that they were a little tired. But I will say one thing I was going to save this to the end, but might as well do it now. Yes, the Padres have had a lot of long stretches.
Yep. I've
mentioned this before. We have played 4 more games this year than the Giants have.
Yep.
And I believe we're currently at 3 more games, possibly, I believe 4 or 3 at the moment, of the Dodgers as well. And if you look at the schedule, this is why I'm not too worried about it. If you look at our schedule and the Giants and Dodgers schedules after the All-Star break, we're the ones with the majority of the breaks.
Yep.
The Giants are going to head into a 19-game stretch where they don't have a day off. They get a day off, then they have to play 13 games without a day off. The Dodgers in August have a 21-game stretch where they don't have a day off. And then after that, I believe they have an 11-game stretch and then another 11-game stretch without a day off. So the Padres are getting all of their tough scheduling in the beginning of the half. And we're right there competitive with them. And I think I'm looking at the big picture for the season. We potentially have a chance in August to take a big lead against these guys because they're going to be in the same boat we are where, they're going to have a bullpen game.
Right.
And we're going to our bullpen's going to be tired. Our starters are going to be tired. Our hitters are going to be tired. And remember, the Giants are an old team. They're if they miss their Metamucil, they're going to be, anyways, and their water aerobics. I am not worried. It sucks that we're this way now because we've had so many long road trips and so many weird we're in Philadelphia in a game that was ended at 4:00 and we had to fly back in San Diego for a night game. That never shouldn't happen from East to West Coast flight like that.
Yep. But we move on to the next stage.
Yes. But just basically what I'm saying is keep the faith, Padre fans.
Oh, yeah.
We are in the hunt still.
And even like this game, we were down 5-0, came back to tie.
Yes, exactly. Our offense is heating up. That's one thing that I will say. Myers is starting to look really good.
Incredible bats. It's really
incredible. Hosmer's getting hits. Yeah.
He could get more, though.
I agree. And this next game we're going to talk about, Will Myers had 5 RBIs. But continue, Joey.
The San Diego Padres welcome in the fake founders that we talked about. The fake founding city, Washington, D.C. Nationals. Where do they call themselves the Nationals?
I don't know, because back in the day they were called the Senators. And that sounds like a better name for D.C.
I agree. The Senators are owned. That name is owned by the Texas Rangers.
I know.
Yeah, little trivia for you.
Because the Senators Texas Rangers used to be the Senators.
Yep.
I mean, I get
It's weird that it goes to Montreal Expos to Washington Nationals. I think it's a little rude.
What name should the Nationals be called?
I don't know. The Beltway Boys.
The Bald Eagles.
The Bald Eagle. I don't know what's capital. The Hills, the capital, Washington Capitals. That's the hockey team.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
they won. That's the Washington Capitals is the hockey team.
Oh,
I don't know.
whatever.
Regardless, San Diego Padres beat them 7-4, 7 runs, 14 hits, and the Washington Nationals had 4 runs on 8 hits off of a 5.1 inning pitch start by Ryan Weathers, 4 earned runs, but gave us some length and distance. And Eric Fetty did not have it for the Washington Nationals, pitched 4.1 inning pitch with 6 earned runs. And the San Diego Padres had a great game, great breakout game for Will Myers, as you said, James.
5 RBIs, matched his career total for most RBIs in a game. Mm-hmm. It was an enjoyable game to watch and made you feel really good about the next game.
Will Myers homers, 3-1 homer in the 4th, sacrifice fly in the 5th, and doubles in the 7th, all scoring runs. Manny Machado's still staying hot. Singles are to bring in Trent Grisham. Just a all-around team, good team approaches. Fernando Tatis Jr. had an incredible throw at the plate. Gon Gomes, who seemingly loves to hit in Petco, has a double, and Starlin Castro's on first base. And it's in the left field corner, and they try to send Starlin Castro, relay throw from Profar to Tatis, and then Tatis throws a 95-mile-an-hour basically strike to Caratini and nabs Castro at the plate. Just goes to show, Tatis has his woes, and he had a lot of errors this series, but dude is crazy talented.
Very crazy talented.
So it was awesome to see. Overall, it was just help Weathers out, a lot by blocking runs, and it felt like, oh wow, we're turning this around. We're so much so. At the night of this game, I talked to you, James. We were hanging out, and I was like, hey, want to go to the game tomorrow? You're like, yeah, I'll go to the game.
Yeah.
This should be fun.
It'll be fun. And then nothing happened. It was a black hole in time and space. The game is just a void, and move on. No reason to talk about the next game. Not so much. No, it was, here are some highlights that happened last game.
I will say the score first. Nationals beat us 15-5 on 17 runs and no errors. And the Padres had 5 runs on 11 hits and 3 errors.
17 hits. You said 17 runs.
I said 17 runs? 15 runs on 17 hits.
Yeah.
No errors. And the Padres had 5 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors.
Yeah.
That's what you call a blowout, kids.
That was a blowout. Highlights of this game. Joey paid for parking, which is really nice.
I splurged for Lexus Premier Lot.
Yes, it was super nice. Pay for parking. It's the way to go. There were empty spots. There was this parking spot right next to Petco Park, and there were empty spots at the beginning of the game. You pay for parking. It's the way to go. We saw, for those of you that follow or baseball fanatics, there's a guy called the batting stance guy.
Yeah, that's right. We did see him. We didn't say hi.
We didn't say hi. He was
on the move.
We were going up this. We were going down the stairs. He was going up the stairs. I'm like, hey, that's the batting stance guy.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That was fun to see it.
The Nationals were on pace to have a 1-run, 2-run, 3-run, 4-run, 5-run, 6-run, 7-run, 8-run, 9-run inning. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
No,
half of those happened.
Half of those happened. It was devastating. Hey, we saw who Marvel should cast as Captain America on the way there. The next Captain America. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy.
The buffest human being I've ever seen in my life. He was on the side of the road without a shirt, and like normally I don't like. It's just stupid why you walk around without a shirt on. But man,
He was very buff.
if I was buff like that guy, I would never wear a shirt either. He was
Extremely buff.
he looked like the Black Thor. He could have been. I was jealous. And anyways, but that's the positives for this game.
There's a couple positives, and I'll butter us up a little bit. Nabil Krizmat has done a few heroic outings like this, and another heroic 5 innings pitch outing, only allowing 1 earned run, to only 2 hits on 5 innings pitch. We haven't talked about it, but the reason why this game went so badly was Chris Paddock had his worst start of the year.
And
8 earned runs, 9 runs on 9 hits. I know one of them was an error, but the error was just a throwing error from like a relay from outfield to third base, which didn't feel really like it should have been. Regardless, the rules are weird, but 8 earned runs in 2 innings pitch is atrocious.
It was.
And
the reason why I wanted to get all the funny stuff out of the way because, yes, Nabil Krizmat, I think, give that guy a star, put the swag chain on him. He saved our bullpen. He pitched 5 innings. He only allowed 1 run. He saved our bullpen.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I am under the belief that I just witnessed Chris Paddock's last start as a Padre. In the sense that if he gets 1, maybe 2 more starts, that's because we don't have anybody else to throw out there. There is no way he's not on the trading block, or if we get another pitcher, there's no way he's not in AAA for the rest of the year. Or traded. This was and I have tried to get behind Chris Paddock all year. This was single-handedly the worst pitching performance I've ever seen.
So Chris Paddock does have a lot of quality starts, and he was 6 innings pitched less than 3 earned runs. I think the problem is I think with this outing, it shows he doesn't have. We've talked about this before. He has this ability to like get in his own head and just like really doesn't know how to get out of it, make competitive pitches. We were talking about this. I at the game, I was like, it'd almost feel better if there was like 30 errors or something. The Padres were playing sloppy baseball, because then it's like, oh, a team has to get better. This was squarely on Paddock, just not pitching well, and this is not. Musgrove didn't have a great start either, but
this, bring it up. This is the difference between it.
Yeah.
Musgrove gave up 5 runs in the first 2 innings. And then he gave up, then he pitched his 6th inning. He didn't give up any more runs for 4 innings because he then made the adjustment and realized what they're swinging at. And they like the strike zone in this zone. He made the adjustment as any big league pitcher should do. And he made an adjustment. Chris Paddock is incapable of making an adjustment. Also, he didn't throw his fastball a lot this game. He just didn't feel his fastball was on point.
I think probably because in the first inning, he threw a fastball to Juan Soto, who deposited into left field.
Yeah, he gets in his own head, and he doesn't, and then he'll like, okay, I'm not gonna throw a fastball for the rest of the game.
You can't really do that.
You can't do that when you're a fastball, changeup, curveball pitcher.
I think he said this earlier this year that he's effective when he just trusts his fastball and throws the crap out of it. And all his fastballs are very like sub 95, and the only way that works is that he has to throw the fastball hard and just trust it in the zone, and you can't be pensive about it. It just was being at the game was, we did lots of walking around, lots of talking about other things. I think Paddock makes another start, I guess, because I think our current post-All-Star break, we might be looking at a very different team. Not very different. We might get a starter. We might get Zach Davies back from the Cubs. We might get someone like that.
That's trippy that actually happened.
Why wouldn't he? He has only a year and a half left on his contract. They're not going to see he's the future. If they're going to sell everything, we'll break all this down when it happens. Hopefully, if it happens. But I think with Lamet down and with Snell question marking, we're going to see Paddock again. The problem is that you just cannot allow. You just can't. It was just so bad. It just wasn't. It wasn't injury related, and it wasn't someone just having bad 2 innings and rebounding. He just never rebounded, and it was crazy because Chris Matt just threw such a better game, And Chris Matt, like no one, like make no bones about it. No one's like, oh, Chris Matt's an incredible pitcher. But he had mental toughness, and he's a big leader. He did the right thing. And he saw, oh, that's not working. I'm gonna do this. That's not working. I'll do this. Right. And
let's not throw the same pitch twice in the same position.
Right.
Let's. Okay, he saw a curveball. Now let's throw a fastball with movement.
Right.
And he's sitting on fastball. Let's throw a curveball. This is the stuff that he did. Again, he's not going to blow anyone away, but it was one of the best. Save our bullpen performances, second best.
Yeah,
next to Joe Musgrove.
Eric Hosmer had the base loaded in the first inning, and Patrick Corbin threw 6 sliders, low and outside. None of them were strikes, but Eric Hosmer swung at 3 of them, and one of them was a ground out.
Yeah, that would have. Yeah,
I just. What a horrible approach.
It was. I mean, and the thing is, like,
it's a horrible approach.
Because our bullpen's exhausted, we did bring up Nick Ramirez, who again isn't a big league starter, and he came in after Chris Matt, and he gave up another 5 runs.
I don't want to be rude, but I think it was 5 runs. I thought it was 6 runs. Never mind, you're right.
It was 5. I have the note right here. Anyways, so.
I don't know if Eric Hosmer even grand slammed. Obviously, it changes the composure of the game. But do you think Chris Paddock? Let's play a little simulation. If Eric Hosmer hits a grand slam and it's 4-3 Padres, do you think Chris Paddock doesn't give up 4 runs in the second?
He was pitching very, very badly.
And Juan Soto and Trey Turner are some of the 2 best hitters in baseball. Okay? And they're, like, especially right now, this past 2 weeks. Trey Turner loves hitting in San Diego. Juan Soto has the best plate discipline in baseball. And Chris Paddock faced them again.
I think he still would have given up 4 runs.
I agree.
It was.
I think his stuff wasn't there from the start.
What was that?
I think his stuff wasn't there from the start.
Oh, no, not at all.
And if you're afraid to throw a fastball to any hitter, regardless of how good they are, and that's like a primary pitch you use, you're just kind of like you're then depending on a changeup and a curveball. It's just not good. Eric Hosmer hits a home run later. Manny Machado singles to get first run. And then in the 9th inning, we had some fun.
We did. It was. You would think the way the last 1,000 fans that were still in the stadium.
James and I, with the record, stayed the entire time.
We did indeed.
Because I kept saying, "Man, I can't believe all the people are going to." Well,
we had to go to the first.
What did I say in the 7th? I said, "I can't believe people are going to miss this 8-run comeback." And then I said, in 8. I can't. People are going to miss this 12-run comeback, and then 9th I said, I can't believe people are going to miss this 13-run comeback. But the 9th inning was fun. We had a lot of fun in the 9th inning.
A lot of fun. I mean, yes, at halfway point through the game, we did have to get up from our seats and get pain medication, but that was
unrelated.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Trent Grisham homers in the 9th. At that point, it's just total. The people that were there were the hardcore fans, and so everyone started having fun. Everyone was like, "Uh-oh, here it comes! Here! Don't! We're getting hot!" Trent Grisham hits a 2-run homer. Bases get loaded up. We get another run. It turned around to be a very fun 9th inning because it was very obvious that we're still not going to win this game, but let's just have some fun. Let's cheer on our boys, and let's try to pad some stats here. Dave Martinez did the dumbest thing I've seen a manager do in a long time. It's at that point in the game, it's 15-4, and the pitcher has 2 outs, and he replaces lefty pitcher. To which I say, Davey Martinez, can you read the score? You're up by 11 runs. The guy has 2 outs, and you're going to replace him? What's your deal, man? Come on. Like, yeah. But he did, and got the last guy out, so maybe I'm wrong.
Yep.
James, but thank the Lord the next game happened.
Yes. I think it was some sort of joke that we weren't at this game. It was an earlier start, so you would have had a chance to go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
It was because everyone knows how much you enjoy your bedtime.
Thursday, July 8th, the fake fathers come into town with the real fathers. And the Padres win 9-8, James. The box score seemed to tell you something was close, and it was close, but not in the way you think.
No.
You, Darvish.
2 of the best pitchers in the league. It was going to be. If you watched any baseball news whatsoever about everyone 2 days ago was talking. This is going to be the best pitching matchup of the week.
Right.
Two aces, 2 Cy Young award-winning contenders.
The national broadcast said, in baseball history, there's never been a matchup of people with the 2 best strikeouts per 9 innings in MLB history.
Really?
Because they love striking people out.
That's true.
And those are the 2 best in MLB, like to ever face each other in MLB history with their percentages, which is like, this is a really 2 exemplary
Starters.
pitchers, yeah.
And the Padres gave up Hugh Darvish. Gave up 6 runs, sorry.
6 runs. The Washington Nationals hitters were not fooled by a lot. They sat on pitches they thought they sat on. They jumped on mistakes, which you, Darvish,
We come to find out that we knew about this previously, that Hugh Darvish has had this lower back problem. In the beginning of the first inning, apparently he did something to his back, and he was laying on his hip wrong, which was making the pitches not have the same bite to him. So that's our excuse. And it was they got rid of Hugh Darvish in the 3rd inning, and
after giving up 6 runs.
After
He
giving
pitched
6
a full 3rd innings. He pitched a full.
he pitched four full 3 innings,
Yep.
which doesn't help our bullpen whatsoever. We call up our local kid that just second time up in the big leagues,
Daniel
Camareno, friend of Joe Musgrove's, went to
Cathedral Catholic.
Catholic High. Everyone
From Bonita. Shout out to Bonita.
found out Bonita. Bonita has a fantastic taco shop. I'll take you there someday.
I mean, you could pick most cities in San Diego.
I know, but this is legitimately one of the best. Anyways, we'll talk about it afterwards. Anyway, so it's the only reason why to go to Bonita, honestly. Anyway, so we he comes out of the bullpen,
Gives up 2 runs.
gives up 2 runs, so now it's 8-0.
Well, now let's say give up. Trey Turner had 2 home runs this game. Second home run. He just
First home run was against
Darvish.
Second home run was against Daniel. And Max Scherzer.
Well, we should set the scene personally, because at this point I text you, I'm gonna go play video games. I'm just gonna watch game day, because at this point it's 8-0. I'm like, I've seen this before. I was there last night. I've seen this. I've seen how this game plays out.
I thought for a second that we were somehow like did a wormhole open up, or we bet
A monkey's paw.
Did we just get sucked back into 2017? Yeah. What's happening? And if I goes to is this 2017? Should I run out and warn people about COVID? No, I actually really thought I'm gonna go buy Bitcoin. Yay! Anyways, so it felt like, oh, somehow the Padres just suck now, and Max Scherzer was dominant for 3 innings.
Yep. Max Scherzer faces one Fernando Tatis Jr.
In the fourth.
Makes his first mistake of the game, leaves a nice little 95-mile fastball right in the zone. And if Fernando's hunting fastball and he gets his pitch, it doesn't land on the field.
Upper deck shot.
And then I text you, well, at least Fernando's having fun. Max Scherzer kind of scuffles a little bit.
Now, this particular inning, the Padres have always had this game plan.
Yep.
Make the pitcher work. Foul off pitches.
Yep.
We did this.
Yep. We proceed to Manny Machado walks. Trent Grisham gets a hit. And there's two people on base, and it's 2 outs at this point. And it's like, okay, we're still down.
Hosmer walked too, right?
No, this is where it gets interesting because then Hosmer gets hit.
Oh, that's right. He got hit in the foot.
Because Max Scherzer is now missing location east to west. He's not hitting his spots anymore. And you can tell he's noticeably gassing. He looks very tired. Up walks Will Myers, and Will Myers puts in a heck of an at-bat. A 9-pitch walk.
Easily one of his best at-bats all year. I know it was only a walk, and it did lead into a run.
So this is how the first 3 pitches went. Swinging strike on a slider, swinging strike on another slider, fouls off a fastball. It's 0-2. And then he just works the crap out of Max Scherzer and gets him to walk, scoring our second run. James, I guess that'd be only 1 out, right?
Yeah. So guys,
one out at that point.
Caratini came and got out.
Caratini should have walked. C. Buckner's zone was bad. Just was bad. C. Buckner's a bad umpire. James, we had at this point only had one bench person on the bench, only one person remaining, and that was Ha-Sung Kim. And
Jace Tingler had to make a decision.
Yeah,
okay, we are in for another long haul game.
Right.
I need someone to eat up a lot of innings. Poor Daniel has to go up bat with bases loaded facing Max Scherzer. Yes, we can score runs, but in all honesty, he knows that we're better chance of scoring runs later in the inning once Max Scherzer leaves. Max Scherzer at this point had already thrown 83 pitches.
Yep. Very obviously going to be most likely his last inning.
Second to last inning. So we need Danny to go up and just get it out. If he can be productive, he can be productive. But it was even if you watch the highlight, the full at bat, Mudd and Don were like, I feel bad for this kid. Yeah, it has to happen though. He has to come up against Max Scherzer.
They're not going to burn all your bullpen again.
You're not going to burn all your bullpen. You can't burn a hitter. This has to happen. Padres Twitter's blowing up like, the base is loaded. What's Jace Tingler doing? And
it's the right move.
It was the right move.
It's an ugly move, but it's the right move.
And what happened, Joe?
I'll let you say what happened. I'm going to set the scene a little bit. Called strike, 93.5 mile fastball. Then our boy Daniel fouls off a 95 mile hour pitch. Okay, he can make some contact.
He hit it to the right field, and then if you were watching the Phillies broadcast,
the National
broadcast, sorry, they zoom out and they show how all the outfielders were in pretty much left field because they didn't expect Daniel. Let's call him Dan now. I think we're pretty friendly with him. To pull power whatsoever. He's only had ever one major league at bat previous to this when he was first called up early in the season.
Daniel Camarena, James, has 28 minor league at bats in his career. Last time he was a consistent hitter was in high school. Daniel Camarena is a journeyman minor leaguer. Spent 9 years in the minor leagues before this point. Was with the Yankees previously, called up, never made his appearance. Finally made his appearance in his hometown a few weeks ago as a pitcher, pitching for us to do long relief. He fouls one off, James, and then
there was a ball.
Takes a changeup in the dirt, James.
And then Max Scherzer throws
A good pitch.
A 96 mile an hour fastball inside at the knees.
I mean, not even at the knees. It's at the shins.
At the shins, yeah. It was at the shins.
And just...
Our boy Dan decided... Like, you could hear the song, I Could Be a Hero, and he hits... I have seen a lot of grand slams as a Padre fan the last couple of years. I even have a shirt that proclaims it as Slam Diego. This one was as exciting, as entertaining, and as rewarding as any other grand slam I've ever seen, past, present, and even future. Max Scherzer's face was just like... okay, that's again... Max Scherzer is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot. Most likely unanimous.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a 20 strikeout game and no hitters.
Three Cy Youngs in both, in two in one league, one in the other. He is one of the best pitchers
Of the modern era.
Modern era, yeah. Like people, in the last 20 years,
Max Scherzer makes every list.
Max Scherzer makes every list, if not top of every list.
So ridiculous.
Oh, and Slamorella, I believe people were calling it
Slamoreno. Yeah.
Slamoreno.
Diego.
His first home run he's hit since his senior year in high school when he was 18 years old. 10 years ago. It was the second ever first hit grand slam by a pitcher ever. Last one, it was in
1898.
1888.
1898.
Sorry, 1898.
By Dan Quiggleby.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If Dan does not do anything else for the rest of his life in baseball, because let's hope he has a long, fruitful life where he San Diego icon, run for mayor. Anyways, come on a podcast. Anyways, I'll vote for him. Don't know what your politics are. Anyways, so nothing else in his professional career, he will for always be in Cooperstown. That is a Cooperstown moment, a thing, that is a stat people will throw up there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, has anyone ever hit a grand slam on the first pitch? Oh, yeah, two guys. One guy, when it was still the dead ball era, and the modern day guy, a hero from San Diego. Look at him. It was beautiful.
Bill Duggleby was the 1898 guy in the Phillies, and Daniel Camarena, the San Diego Padres. Probably the last. I mean, for the DH next year, this will literally forever be the only modern pitcher to hit a first hit be a grand slam. My wife thought that like a burglar was coming in or something. I was having a heart attack or something. She's like, "What's going on?" I just was freaking the F out.
I stood up so quickly from my chair. I believe I pulled a muscle. I just jumped up so quickly. Like, it was insane. It was truly insane. And the thing is, the inning didn't stop there.
No. Tommy Pham gets up, hits a double down the line, and then Fernando Tatis Jr.
hits a pop up.
Yep.
And then Soto just didn't catch it.
Yeah.
He did. It was a foot away. It looked like the same thing that happened to Hosmer. It just dropped in front of him, scored Tommy Pham. We knocked Max Scherzer out.
And fourth inning.
I mean, they knocked our guy out too. And when Darvish left, we're like, there's no way we're going to score 6 runs off of Max Scherzer. We did it. We scored 7.
At that point, destiny just felt like the baseball gods had shown their cards. The Padres had to win this game. Tommy Pham, Will Myers still staying hot, good approach, doubles in the 6th inning, scores on a Tommy Pham hit, double as well, tying the game. At this point, Don and Mudd I think it was in the 4th inning, said, "Hey, if we come back to win, we'll hike from Alpine to Petco." And in the 9th inning, James, 2nd and 3rd, Trent Grisham comes up with 2 outs, and he walks it off. The Padres tying their franchise record for come behind wins with 8 runs and win 9-8 in incredible fashion. And it was an incredible game. I don't know how else to say it. It just was.
It felt like it was. This could be. It feels like it could be a Slam Diego. Tatis hitting a grand slam off the Rangers. What happened last year? You just felt like the whole, and just the crowd. That Dan's family was in the stadium. All the stuff with his brother. His father passed away 2 years ago. That's why when he came home, he kissed his wrist. Apparently, he has like a tattoo or something commemorating his father on his wrist. And his mom was in the stands. His brother was in the stands. All of his cousins. There was about like 12 of his family members there. They went nuts.
Just watch the video. It's so watching the brother like just freak out.
If that does not bring you to tears,
right,
you have no heart, and there's something wrong with you. Yeah,
just
see a doctor.
Unlikeliness of it happening. It's probably one of the most unlikely homers in baseball history.
Yeah,
like Cy Young Award winner Max Scherzer,
first ballot Hall of Famer,
versus a relief pitcher mop-up guy, his second at bat ever.
Probably going to be back in the minors next week.
Dude, I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't fathom it. But this is Slam Diego, baby. It runs in his blood.
Yeah, exactly. It is in his blood. Friend has known Joe Musgrove pretty much their whole lives because they compete against each other for the Little League the whole time. Anyways, did you see the end of the game when he did his interview? Because they kept the camera on. So Trent Grisham's popping out because usually they do the walk-off person. And Manny Machado was just like, no, you're not doing the interview. And everyone was like, no. And so Trent Grisham was like, I understand. Let's get this kid up there. Yeah. They put the chain on him. Trent Grisham, they just like, okay, I'm out here. He just signed autographs.
Yeah.
He signed autographs the entire time of the interview. So that was cool. And then he did his the post game interview wearing the chain. It was so. And here's the stat I was telling you about. This game, Fernando Tatis Jr. did something historic. He's the 15th. He stole a base.
Right.
He's the 15th player in Major League history to be 20-20 before the All-Star break. Yeah. 20 plus home runs, 20 stolen bases. We should talk about that. For the first time all year, Tatis did something crazy, and it's not even a side note in our notes. Like, it was just like, what are we going to do?
That's awesome. What a game. What a game. James, we make predictions every week. And we said that.
So I gotta read this real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
My friend Vince Rizzo.
Yeah.
Was a baseball player in high school.
Yeah.
Also, he's 28. Pitched against Camarena when they were in high school, and he's like, it's just so freaky to see this is the kid that he used to play against hit a grand slam against Max Scherzer.
That's awesome.
So that's how deep he is San Diego.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so awesome. I mean, honestly, it went 3-4 this week. Not a great week for Padres.
Not at all.
But it ended so incredible. It made that week very good. Despite us, being 3-4. James, you said 5-2. I said 6-1. We ended 3-4. Yeah, not a great week for us, James. As we look forward, we have a very, very short week next week. Just 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Because the All-Star break. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we welcome the Colorado Rockies into town. What do you think our record will be after 3 games? We'll be recapping these 3 games in probably the beginning part of one of our episodes next week. Yeah. What do you think, James?
We might do a recap 3 games and talk about trade rumors.
Yeah, we'll recap them, but it's not a very light week.
Very light week.
I should caveat, we have no idea who's pitching tonight. Could be Blake Snell.
This is the my thinking on this. If I was a betting man, I'd say 2-1. We're gonna take 2 from the Rockies. The Rockies stink. After tonight's game, I think we sweep the Rockies. And the reason why I'm betting 2-1 is because we don't know who's starting tonight.
It could be a very, very ugly game.
Yeah.
It could be position player, like 2 position player kind of game.
Because then Saturday it's going to be Joe Musgrove, and he's going to come out and just mop up. And Sunday is going to be Ryan Weathers, our son. Which I think if we see another heroic thing happen from Daniel, we might have to adopt him too.
I don't think. I think Daniel's close time he can pitch is Sunday.
Okay.
I guess he could pitch tomorrow too. Yeah, I mean, he's a legend now. Daniel Camarena is now
Somewhere
he's now part of Padres lore.
Somewhere near Cathedral High School.
Yeah.
Put up another mural.
Yeah.
He gets a mural. I don't. And at the end of the year, Joey and I are going to go on a road trip and see all the murals.
Yeah.
We've planned this, and I want to stop at that one. We'll get some tacos.
Yeah.
And we'll go.
Yeah, that'd be fun. The 2-1 you said?
2-1. No, I say sweep. But if I was going to go to Vegas, 2-1.
Right. Okay. I think we're very capable of sweeping. I think we're going to be 2-1. I think tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if some absolute middle of the road pitcher gets called up today to just your job is to eat for whatever innings. You're just gonna eat 4 innings, right? We don't care if it's 30 runs or 5. Like, and I think that's gonna be it. And you're just gonna, because Norwood didn't pitch yesterday, thankfully, so we do have him still a couple innings there. But I think we need someone to give us 4 or 5 innings.
Palm didn't pitch yesterday. Neither did Tim Hill.
We didn't even mention yesterday's game. Cronenworth getting robbed all day from Victor Robles. And then he had a diving, a leaping catch to rob Hill of a hit, and Mark Wentz came in a non-save situation and locked it down. But because of that, Melanson's probably off today. Like, everyone pitched yesterday probably won't pitch today.
Yeah.
Did Tim Hill pitch yesterday? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
Regardless, we need someone to give us bulk innings, and I worry that it's just going to be like some guy in the minor leagues that is able to throw 80 to 100 pitches. I just like, you're just going to give us 80 to 100 pitches, and we just hope it ends up 4 or 5 innings. I think it's 2-1, 3-0. But James, I'm excited for the All-Star break. Our guys are a little worse for the wear at the current state, so we need some rest. I wouldn't be surprised if on Sunday we see Paddock piggyback on Weathers just for an inning or 2.
Yeah, Coach John Katera on his show said he would like to see Paddock come out of the bullpen to just shut the Rockies down for an inning to give him like a better before the All-Star break send off.
Yeah, I would too, but we'll see, man. We'll see. But I think a break will be awesome for us. And yeah.
Join us for our special All-Star break recap game. We're going to break down the All-Star game right after it happens, talk about the Home Run Derby, and we're going to finally do our All-Star James and Joey's throughout history.
Yes, we will.
Even though, I don't know. I mean, hold on. It might not happen because... But let's... Yeah, it's going to be a fun week.
Remember to follow us on Twitter at Brothers Padre. We're on YouTube. You probably listen to us on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Pod. We're everywhere. Yeah. Until next time, go Padres.
Go Padres.
And there it is! Oh, doctor! You can hang a star on that, baby!
In the history of Petco Park, there's only been 8 delays in total. 2 of them were from bees.
Exactly.